Tom, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'd like to call to order the May 11, 2021 regular meeting of the Nelson County Board of Supervisors. Please stand for a moment of silence. Mr. Harvey, can you lead us in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our first order of business is public comments. I have two people who have previously signed up for comments. Reminder, you have 3 minutes. Please address the board. And first on the list is Reverend James Rhodes. Please give your name and address.
Good afternoon, members of the board. Mr. Carter, come this afternoon.
Can you please give your name and address? I'm sorry.
My name is Reverend James Rhodes, 2225 Union Hill Drive, Windsor. I come this afternoon to talk about something that we had discussed earlier before during the pandemic when it first started, and that was the removal of the Confederate statue from in front of the courthouse. We had agreed to that we wouldn't come board, that we had discussed it. We had views from those who opposed it and those who were against it, or those who were against it and those who were for it back last year. So now we're asking again that the statue be removed and replaced somewhere else. And I look at all the other localities, they are removing them and locating them somewhere else. It is time for Nelson County to follow suit. You don't have to have public comments anymore because you had that already. All you have to do is make a decision as to what you want to do. And it's time that we move ahead. Said before, this is the new Virginia, not the old Virginia. And we want to move ahead. And we want to include everyone. There was a talk about setting up a committee. You don't need a committee. You don't need a committee. All you have to do, you have the authority to say yes or no. That's what we're looking for. If you want to set up a committee after these actions and include everyone in it. So that's what we are asking at this time. It is time for you to make a decision. We are expecting some response from you within sometime in the near future as to what you're going to do. So we know what action we would take. So we're asking that you do that. Also, you're talking about the violation of Livingston. I don't think that if you expect tourists to come to Livingston, that they would want to see a Confederate statue in front of the courthouse and in front of the city government. I know I wouldn't, if I was a tourist coming to this county, I would not want to see that. So I'm hoping that you take that in consideration also. One more thing that I would like to say also. I heard so much talk about on the south side or south side of 29. Now that you're getting brought in over there, we're expecting that you set up a 3 to 5 year comprehensive economic development plan to bring some businesses to that side of the county. Gladstone, Norwood, Windsor, Shipley, Ironton. we're looking for some type of development on that side of the county. And if you have broadband on that side of the county, I'll come to these meetings and I hear about the 151 quarter. We want something on our side of the county. We pay taxes too. We deserve something over there. There's no excuse if you have broadband that you can't bring some type of business to that side of the county. So we're expecting you to take some action on that also. It's time that we have something on that side of the county that we can appreciate. Again, thank you, and I pray that you would take these comments off what I said.
Thank you. Danny Harris?
Hello, Danny Harris, 100 Oak Hill Drive, Madison Heights. And I'm here representing Java and the seniors in Nelson County. Just wanted to thank you all again for your continued support for our organization. It's really made a difference, and we're starting to see slowly more senior members from the community starting to come to the center. All of our members have been vaccinated, which is great news. And we're hoping, not really a timetable, but we're hoping sometime soon that we'll be able to get to where we can all meet together again, rather than having the separate groups like we have now. But things are going well, and we're starting to see an increase in members come in, and just want to thank you all again for your continued support. Hoping to get the FOBR group going up again here soon. I know you've been a big part of that, Jesse, so thanks for that. Also came to introduce Nancy Ferguson. She's our new options counselor, and you all have her information, so feel free to reach out to her at any time. She's here to help the seniors and adults with disabilities in the county with whatever they might need. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Anybody else wish to speak during public comments? Okay, we will close the public comment period and move on to the consent agenda. Included on the consent agenda are minutes for approval from at least the last 5 or 6 meetings, including at the front of you. Let's see. From February 9, March 23, March 25, March 30, and April 1st meetings and continued meetings of the Board of Supervisors. Also includes authorization for acceptance of conveyance of an easement and for a boat landing on the Rockfish River, and also proclamation of Community Action Awareness Month. Anyone on the board want to make a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Ms. Meyer?
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Parr?
Yes.
Mr. Harvey?
Yes.
Mr. Rutherford?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes. Next, we have our monthly VDOT report. Mr. Brown. Welcome.
Thank you, Chairman Reed. I really don't have a whole lot to report on now. We were here last Tuesday night and gave a pretty good summary of our secondary road construction program of rural rustics. I know I do want to share with you that we are looking at the effects of the rock slide on Route 250. That has shut that roadway down. I know it is impacting the roads in our area over there. I know the truck traffic is being very difficult, and we are looking at putting some additional message boards on Route 29 northbound to advise the truck traffic to go to I-64 in Charlottesville in lieu of using River Road, 151, and ultimately trying to go up the restricted part of Route 6 up the mountain. And I did want to look at doing some additional measures on that road. Mr. Harvey and I were discussing prior to the meeting, no through traffic, local traffic, do something up there to get some of that traffic off that road, because that road is just not suitable for a high volume of traffic. So we'll be working that out in the next day or two. I think the message board will be on 29 by the end of the day. Have a little trouble getting the exact wording to put on the message boards, but they are going up. As far as how long it'll be, it's my understanding, and I haven't heard a revised timeframe of first part of the week. It said 45 days. I would imagine that we have a statewide GS solar nailing contractor, and I would imagine they're bringing them in to do a massive solar nailing project along on that slope between 250 and I-64. There is a contingency plan should I-64 be closed. It is a very extensive detour, because if 64 is shut down right there, basically exits 90, 96, and 99, you're gonna have to wrap that traffic around. And right now, the detour would be, 64, 29 at Charlottesville to 40, all the way down through Nelson County to Route 460 at Lynchburg, to Roanoke, and back up. That's the only viable route. There was some consideration in using Route 60 in Amherst County, but we chose not to do that because that would be two disasters. So I was on a call last Friday about that, and that was actually being considered. And I said, "There's no way you can do that. You'll have another road closure." But that's really for the trucks that's on the route, and it's extensive. So hopefully our time frame is true on 45 days. The contractor can mobilize and get that entire slope sold nailed. And I have not been up there. I was hoping to get up there this afternoon to look around, and I've got a couple other places to go to, so I do want to try to get up there and look around a little bit. But we are working on the traffic issues that this closure has created, and please give me your feedback in case, as we work our way through this, to make sure we try to do our best to capture and help with the situation in Nelson County. So with that said, I don't really have a whole lot of update to share with y'all.
Okay. Mr. Parr, do you have any questions for Mr. Brown?
No, sir. No, not at this time.
No. Pardon? Tom?
Robert, now would be a great time, because that road is closed, to go out there and wipe down all those trees that are falling or leaning and all that kind of stuff
On 250.
on 250. That is disasters waiting to happen. But they need to clear them on back. And do y'all own between 250 and 64? I know when you get right down to almost to Route 6, the Scotch Castle owns land there. But I would think on above there, that space in between, you would own all the way to 64, because, I mean, you can almost see the right of way. I mean,
I've looked at the right of way on the lower side of 250 because I've had some, deal with some issues up there. I never really have studied the right of way on the upper side, but
Yeah.
You would think it would,
Yeah,
because,
but I know when you get down to where you go up to Scott's Castle,
I mean, not all the way down 250, but up there where the slide is
Yeah.
at, and all that,
Well,
I would think that was a,
they've got
up there,
a
but
state
we
road
would
in there,
on
and
the
the highway
highway.
put a bridge in there to get to their property.
and you've got, well, you got the railroad, well, you got a railroad overpass too.
I have a
Well, that's
friend, I
all.
have a friend who lives just on the west side of the overpass and between 250 and 64.
I'll mention that to my counterpart, in Charlottesville.
I think above Route 6, you will find that you own it all, but below Route 6, it's gonna be private owned. Those trees definitely need to come out of there, because usually they fall over, they'll cut them right to the edge of the road. So if you run off the white line, you've hit something. Just wipe them out right now while we've got the opportunity.
I will talk to, Ms. Shepherd up at Charlottesville residency, and I'll talk to her about it. I can't take my people up there and do it, but she'll help us out. She'll help
Well,
us
that'd
out.
be a contractor one.
They could get a contractor.
Yeah,
They
to me,
could.
it makes more sense.
Yeah.
It looks like your people gonna be busy with the other problem.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, yeah, I'm gonna ask you to repeat something. 64 is closed,
No,
No. 250 is closed.
250 is,
No, 64 is not closed, and we hope
unless
it
it
doesn't
leads,
become closed.
unless this problem leads all the way up to 64.
Unless that slide destabilizes 64 and they start losing material on the edge of 64 up there. And that was why the secondary closure on 64, that detour was taken so seriously, because it could happen. Could happen.
I've obviously heard from a lot of people about this. Could you please keep me informed when you said in about 48 hours, you'd have some idea about what to do with the high traffic volume and such. So if you come up with anything on that, could you please let me know as soon as you do, so I can pass it along to the folks that are curious about what actions you're gonna be able to take? I'd appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, we've gotten quite a few people called our call center. I say quite a few. I think we've maybe gotten 5 citizens have called that 1-800 be that number to voice their concerns, so.
And I got everything under control.
Okay. Okay. If that's all we have, Mr. Brown, thank you so much, and thanks for your vigilance on the situation. I know it's not easy.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a great evening.
Traffic is just normal.
We are up to new and unfinished business, and the first item there is adoption of the budget. Mr. Garrett?
All we gotta do is go down and close that, come back and service.
Good afternoon. So first of all, I'd like to thank, staff and the board for its work on the proposed FY 22 budget. We had a public hearing on the budget, on May 4th, and we have waived the prescribed 7-day waiting period, and now the board may take action on the budget. And we have a proposed resolution, for adoption of the FY 22 budget before you. It's resolution 2021-29. And staff here to take questions if you have any before considering, said resolution.
Okay, anybody have questions for Ms. McGarry? That's good. Do we have a motion?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve adoption of FY 22 county budget. All funds are 2021-29 as presented.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Ms. Meyer?
Mr. Harvey?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Parr?
Yes.
Mr. Rutherford?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes. Okay, appropriations of funds for the county budget are 2021-30.
Okay, this is just a secondary action to adoption of the budget. We can't spend any of the funds until they're appropriated, and this resolution does just that. It's fiscal year 2021-22 appropriation of funds, resolution 2021-30.
Okay. Any questions for Ms. McGarrett? Do we have a motion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I move that we adopt resolution R 2021-30 fiscal year 2021-2022 appropriation of funds.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Barton seconds.
Yes.
Any further questions? Discussion? Ms. Meyer?
Mr. Rutherford?
Yes.
Mr. Harvey?
Yes.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Parr?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Okay, thank you all so very much.
Thank you, Ms. McGarry. Thank you, staff.